The NBA offseason has been insane up until this point, to say the least, but none of these deals can go final until July 6th. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at some of the more active teams this summer and give them an organization grade. First thing we got to start with is LeBron James. I mean, this man in his 23rd season at the age of 42 years old, coming off 21, 6-7. LeBron has taken over free agency entirely, and he did so by using the oldest breakup tactic in the game. Break up with me? Nah, I'm breaking up with you. It was very evident that the Lakers weren't going to include LeBron in their future plans as soon as they started courting Luka to resign last year. So before the official news came out that the Lakers weren't offering LeBron a lucrative deal, he makes the public statement saying that he was going to move on and he would also be open to the idea of signing a vet minimum. LeBron gets to be the king for at least one more summer. His offseason score, A+. Now, next up is the LA Lakers, because your inability to sign and build a legit contender has been LeBron's fault to this point, correct? So last summer, you lock in your superstar Luka Doncic through the summer of 2029. Then you follow that up by using the bird rights you have on Austin Reeves to outbid teams like Detroit, Brooklyn, before they can even have a chance to put an offer in front of him. You solidify your starting 5 spot by signing Walker Kessler, and in my opinion, I don't know if he's worth all of that money, but you did get your 5 nonetheless. The goal is to put Luka in a position to win championships for years to come. You trade DeAndre Ayton, which is obviously a good start, a guy that doesn't want to set screens and doesn't want to roll hard to the basket, for one of the most dynamic passers, scorers, shooters in the entire NBA. You don't need that on your roster. Get rid of him. But you still got terrible contracts with player options taking up a decent chunk of cap space. But you follow that up with Quentin Grimes, Colin Sexton, Sandro Mamukelashvili. Good players, but your spending is reminiscent of the Detroit Pistons in 2009. Shout out to Charlie V and Ben Gordon. It seems like the Lakers came into the offseason with more hope and pray than actual X's and O's. In my opinion, their offseason score, a C+. Let's head out east to the Toronto Raptors. I mean, last season, you played yourself into the playoffs as a 5th seed, going 46-36 on the year. Scotty Barnes finished the season top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year, 2nd team all defense. RJ Barrett averaged 19 points per game on 49% shooting. Quickly, he's thrived since he's come to Toronto. He has the keys. Last season, he put up 16 points, 6 assists. But Brandon Ingram had a pretty solid season, in my opinion. I mean, that's been consistent throughout the course of his career. The All-Star forward averaged 21 points, 47, 38, 82 splits in 77 games. And mind you, he hasn't always been healthy, so 77 games is his highest mark since his rookie season. In the NBA landscape this summer, that just means you're probably going to end up on the trade block, which is exactly what happened. Brandon Ingram was indeed traded to the Clippers for Kawhi Leonard. The person that got you your first ever NBA championship was traded back to Toronto for Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram, and draft capital. Kawhi's coming off his best season since 2020. I mean, he averaged 28, 6, 4 on 50, 39, 89 splits. Even though they lose a little bit of depth, they now have 2 of the most versatile defenders in the league, and the late game woes that plagued them versus Cleveland seem to be a thing of the past. The Toronto Raptors offseason score, in my opinion, I'll give them an A-. Now, one of the biggest shocks of the summer has come from the Minnesota Timberwolves. The quote-unquote rumors surrounding the possible departure of Julius Randle and saying the out loud thing out loud. I mean, everybody knew it was coming. All right, we just didn't know what it was going to look like. You end up sending him to Brooklyn for nothing. And that's where the head scratch comes in, because while you have a chance to make your team better by getting someone in return like MPJ, this is obviously a salary dump. I mean, you couldn't be more obvious about that. You know that Ant is going to want to compete at a high level. He's been dominant when healthy in the playoffs, but he hasn't gotten over the hump to get to the NBA Finals. He averaged a career high 28 points per game last year, but he was dealing with 2 knee injuries in the playoffs versus San Antonio. After trading Randle, you assume those minutes and that starting role is going to go to Naz Reid. I mean, he happens to be one of the most versatile forwards in the entire NBA, a guy you would want to continue to build and make him a homegrown star. Then you make the shocking trade with the Hornets. You send Naz Reid and draft capital for LaMelo Ball and Josh Green. Now, Melo had a great season last year, but you felt like another healthy season from him and the Hornets could be in the mix for a top 4 seed out east. His chemistry with that team, I mean, it was next level when they got going, but Charlotte must know something we don't, or nothing at all. Minnesota pairs Ball with Ant-Man in one of the most explosive, dynamic, and must-see TV backcourts in the entire NBA, but I still can't get over losing Naz Reid. Their offseason score is going to be a B. There seems to be some weird agenda surrounding the coverage of the Miami Heat. Let's count the ways. I mean, for several years, you say the Heat don't have enough assets to make a deal for another superstar. Nobody wants Tyler Hero. He can shoot, but that's about it. Nobody wants the G Leaguers, the second round draft pick mob Pat Riley doesn't have anymore. Then all of a sudden, we get a top 5 player in the NBA and one of the 30 greatest players we've ever seen, and a team that was 43-39 last season gave up too much. A team that has 5 players that shoot 37% or higher from 3 last year. A team that has 4 of the best defenders in the NBA in Mitchell, Wiggins, Bam, and Giannis. A team that has one of the greatest coaches of all time. A coach that turned the worst team in the NBA into a 30-11 team. Not at the end of the year, it was halfway through the season they made this turnaround, leading a team of second-round draft picks, undrafteds, and G Leaguers to 2 NBA Finals appearances, a roster that is also in a hunt for another former All-Star and arguably the greatest player ever. But somehow we are told to believe that as of right now, the Miami Heat are a play-in team. I'm going to give Miami the same score you would give any other team that got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Their offseason score, an A+. Now, something is brewing in Philadelphia, and I don't like it at all. Let's start with the 3-1 comeback versus Boston. I stood up in my recording studio, gave them a standing ovation. Tyrese Maxey, VJ, Embiid, they played phenomenal in that series. The enemy of my enemy is still my enemy, but I'll tolerate you for a little while. You go into the offseason, you're relatively quiet. The conversation is about making sure Embiid goes into next season healthy and making tweaks here and there to improve the roster. And what does it look like? Then out of nowhere, the team in green continue to expose how incompetent they are and trade Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George, a top 6 MVP candidate, a second-team All-NBA performer, a conference finals MVP, an NBA Finals MVP, the winningest player in the NBA since he's come into the league, and you add him to Maxey, VJ, and Embiid. You didn't have to give up any of your young assets for one of the 10 best players in the NBA. And listen, let the analytics build their case against JB, and I'll build the counter in his defense. Me getting 30 and stopping you from getting 25 means I'm a problem. Off-season score for the Philadelphia 76ers, A+. Let me know in the comments, who do you think made the best off-season moves thus far this summer? That's one more for the good guys.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. This is my show. This is my camera.